Alright, well, we're about to get right back at it again. It's been a little bit since my last recording. I have played some off camera and everything. Just kind of flew around to that one station that I have the coordinates for. And I did a contract over there, just turned in some I think it was superconductors. If I remember correctly, I needed 78 of them, and it netted me about 2 million space creds. So, wasn't too bad. It was really quick to assemble those parts and everything. But I believe the last thing I did was jump around to a couple of my previous GPS markers when I first got to space, and went to the asteroids that had uranium and picked up a bit more uranium to process down into fuel for my reactor. So I should have plenty of
Station fuel critical.
oh well, I should have plenty of power for my base and everything. I'm just now realizing that I left off with my base batteries charging. So it's going to say that I don't have much power because all these batteries in the base batteries group here. So if I just do batteries, so yeah, I think I have like 70 some batteries on my base or something like that. But all of them are set to recharge, and that's thanks to my power. Yeah, these two event controllers here, the charge event controller here. So when it gets below 20% on all of my batteries, it will set them to recharge and turn on the large reactor. So we can see that's actually running right now. Power, inventory, mass. So yeah, I'm actually currently generating 300 megawatts off of my large reactor, and then should also be running my base H2 engines. Yep, and that's running 120 megawatts times 24 because I have currently 24 hydrogen engines. Which that should mean that my H2O2 tanks here so yeah, we'll highlight that and then scroll down with everything unlocked. Or yeah, base hydrogen. Here we go. Yeah, so I'm burning through my fuel, not super quick. Apparently, I still have 7 IRL hours worth of hydrogen to run those engines, and I'll be fully recharged in 17 minutes. So I still have plenty of fuel, both hydrogen and uranium. If I come over here and search for uranium, I have 1.43 thousand units of uranium, as well as plenty of uranium ore still being processed. And the reactor is yeah, it's not using that much. So should have uranium for quite a while. But what I had been doing is just went over here to my GPS markers, and I've been scrolling through trying to find any of them that had uranium. So like this one right here, we'll show that on the map. So that's 89,000 meters that way. So if I get into
Station fuel critical.
the cockpit of my ship here, And we'll switch it back to a actual ship. We'll turn on the gyros and thrusters just for stabilization. And what I want to do is come over here, go to jump, select base jump drives. They're all fully charged right now. So let's select the uranium 2 waypoint that I have highlighted here. Then I'll press number 5 to start to jump. This is just giving me an overview here, so I'll be able to do 100% of that distance. The distance to the proximity of the coordinates, so that's the full distance there. This is currently the weight of everything that I have attached to my ship here, which is a decent amount. But I can just go ahead and hit OK on that, and I'll jump over to that asteroid there. Then I can mine up some more uranium while I wait for these batteries to charge. Okay, so now what I can do is convert back to a station, turn my gyros and thrusters back off. And my door's not wanting to work properly. There we go. We'll just come over here to the mining ship. And I'll mine up some of that tasty uranium.
Ship fuel critical.
So I'll go ahead and turn on my ore detector as well as my antenna. Start cruising on over here. Get close enough to see where that uranium marker is. I'm thinking I might have already grabbed all the uranium here because I'm not seeing it. There's the waypoint marker, but I'm not actually seeing any uranium in this deposit. So I'm thinking I probably got all of the uranium here. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and delete that off, but I will grab some of this iron since I'm here. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I really actually enjoy just how well this ship functions. I have ran into a few little issues here and there with it, mostly just like sometimes the AI freaking out when it's trying to back out on its own and stuff, but nothing like super major. You do have to be a little bit careful with it. Make sure you make a save when you start to go into a tunnel and stuff, which I haven't. I probably should have, and I can hop in and do that now. Let's go ahead and save that progress. Also, I've put the timer and the flight controller for exiting the tunnel onto the hotbar, so I can toggle that on and off. But I'll just let it do its own thing. It's going to pick up a ton of stone along with this, but that'll be alright. I can throw that out later on if I want, or just let it sit in my base and process up. I'm going to go ahead and hit up this unknown signal while I'm here. One thing that I definitely want to do is keep an eye out for the pirate signals and stuff, because it's been a little bit since I've actually done any salvaging, and I kind of want to get back to it, especially now that I got a decent pit, the grinder pit, built up and it's fully functional. I did notice that when I have the base set as a ship, the grinders will grind the wall of the pit, which it's not really supposed to do that. When it's set as a station, it doesn't do that, but when it's set as a ship, it does, and I'm thinking that's probably due to just some like little vibrations and instability in ship form, because all of that mass is connected to just one little set of pistons, which makes it fairly unstable. Let's take a look at the inventory real quick here. What do I have? Mostly iron. I have some stone, but I have a ton of iron, so that was actually a pretty decent haul as far as ratio of resource to stone. Normally you get through those resource deposits pretty quick and kind of drill right through them and then into stone, and most of the time you'll have your cargo mostly filled up with stone. One of the things that I found is when you back out, sometimes it's better to move off to the side when you go to dump off all that stone, just so it doesn't kind of cloud up right at the exit of that tunnel. It just makes it a little bit difficult to get lined back up the exact same way that you already were. But you can kind of use the flight here kind of like as a cheat for that. So when it backs out on its own, it'll be waypoint 2 that it ends on. So you can delete waypoint 1, leave waypoint 2, move to the side, dump your stone, turn on the flight controller to line back up with waypoint 2. That would be right at the entrance of the tunnel once it backs out on its own. And then you can start drilling again and just kind of fly right back into the tunnel in the same orientation that you came out of. Let's see here. So it didn't quite go far up enough that time
Ship
around.
fuel critical.
Sometimes it does that, sometimes it don't. I'm gonna have to work on that at some point and see if I can't get the waypoints a little bit closer to prevent that from happening. But I'm gonna dump everything out of my inventory and then out of ship here. So yeah, that was quite a good amount of stone, or not stone, iron that I had picked up. That'll do it for that there. Ooh, we got a military escort. Nabbed me a couple of these ships before, but might as well go ahead and grab another one. So let's see here. I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna look for bottles. I'm gonna take 2 oxygens, 1 hydrogen. You know what, I'm gonna take all of my power kits, take some med kits, and then I'm gonna have to go. Oh wait, I have the hacking computer already on. So all components are successful. So let's see, where was that at? It's over here. I'm gonna turn the dampers off and I'm just gonna cruise out this way. Should have plenty enough oxygen. And I won't even bother bringing a ship out to grab this, because I can, where it's not hostile, I can actually get close enough and put a hacking computer on there with no worries about it, you know, turning hostile, killing me dropping my inventory or anything like that. So I can just sneak right up on it, slap on the hacking computer, wait for it to do its thing, gain control, and bring it right over to my my grind pit. I'll go ahead and do that, and in the meantime my base battery should still be charging up just fine, no worries with that. So. One thing I apparently forgot to do was turn off the antenna and ore detector, because I can still see that iron deposit from here. So it's a good thing to know that the broadcast of the antenna on the miner actually works. If you're not aware, if you have an ore detector and an antenna on the same grid, you can set it up to where the ore detector will broadcast any ore deposits that it finds over that antenna, meaning that you'll be able to see it from a much larger range. Let's see, can I slap on here? No. I can throw it. That'd look kind of funny there. I don't want to put it directly in front of a thruster because that would just cook it right off. But right here will be fine. So I'll throw the hacking computer down, then I can use this terminal to interface and claim the grid. What that does is just prevent this this entity, this large grid ship here, from despawning. The random encounters and stuff, all of the AI controlled ships that spawn in that aren't owned by you, they will all despawn after 2 real world hours if you don't claim them. Of course, if you grind it down and stuff, all the resources that you pull out, you know, those, you don't have to worry about that despawning or anything, but unless you just leave it floating in space, and then after a while the game will take care of that, so you don't have just an infinite amount of trash floating in space. Let's see here. So we got the antenna, so I can go ahead and change that to be, I don't know, 20,000. Put a decent little range on there, and what we'll do is we'll name this scrap, because that's what the ship's going to be used for. I'm just going to scrap it. So now I should be able to see that antenna from up to 20,000 meters away. Which means actually I probably could just go ahead and fly straight to my base and just let it do its thing. I'm not sure exactly what kind of loop the what's it called? The remote control blocks set to. Normally these AI crafts have kind of like a little loop that they're set on, and they'll just go from waypoint to waypoint until they either despawn or get destroyed and taken. Looks like this is going to have a lot of missiles on it. We have 2 small cargo containers designated specifically for missiles, so it's pretty nice. We can turn the beacon off and just leave the antenna running. Let's see. Do I have access to anything else important? Nah, we only have access to one of the Gatlings. I don't think I can turn that off even with the group being unlocked for it. I'm pretty sure I've dismantled one of these before, if not a few of them. It's not too bad on resources. It's got a few of these large ion thrusters. It's great for thruster components, which have some pretty good resources in them. Turrets I don't really care for so much. These large antennas have a ton of the radio components, which is pretty good. These also have 2 reactors, which I can't get access to the inventory yet. Yeah, but they should have a decent amount of uranium. I think probably around 10 altogether at most. So I mean, that's not too bad. But see, that was another oh, no, I don't see a unknown signal, so I'm thinking that I think that might be new. The unidentified signal over there. don't think it's actually on that planet. It's way too close for that. It's only about, what, 1.7 million meters? It's not too bad. It's relatively close. The other one over there, that's pretty far away. Okay, so I have access to this bed here, so I can charge up my suit without having to use any of its power kits, which is pretty good. Can I open this? Yeah, I can open that. Still don't have access to the seat there. I don't have access to that. Pressurize on and off. Don't have access to the assembler. I think this is turned off by default. Which means my hacking computer will never be able to gain control of that, if that's the case. So I can access the terminal through here. Okay, so we have the remote control block. So we'll turn autopilot off. And if I'm not mistaken, I think actually should be able to sit here and then grab control of the remote control block. Let's see, there it is. Can I control? No. Okay. So I guess I have to be in an actual seat, not just a bed. We can turn this reactor off, save out some of that uranium, so I don't have access to that one. Let's see here. It's attempting to get the second Gatling turret right now. And it failed. So, let's see. Oh, I was trying to get the turret again. Maybe it'll succeed, maybe it won't. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, it still doesn't have access to the control station yet, so I can't fly it. So was there a bathroom on this ship? Because if there's like an actual seat, the little bathroom decorative block has a toilet you can sit down on. But I don't think this does, unfortunately. See anything in the lockers? Not really. So we got 3.5 in one of these reactors, the other one I can't access yet, anyway. Can I access this? Yes, I can turn gravity block off here. I'll save out a lot of power. Not that it matters too much. Should have plenty to be able to wait out the hack computer to grab the main cockpit here, but okay, so I have both of the Gatling turrets, so we can turn those off. Don't want them accidentally locking anything I don't want it to. It shouldn't, but it's always best to be safe about that. And there's 2 missile turrets, so wait for that. Okay, we did just gain access to this. Sometimes the list over here, it doesn't update immediately when you take over blocks, so it'll still show it as red, but I can actually access this now because I haven't refreshed the screen by doing that right there. So now, yep, now it's white. A good amount of oxygen left in there. There's that unknown signal. I was waiting for another one. Go ahead and hit that up while I let that hack computer do its thing. Oops. Turn the dampeners off. There we go. Let's see, do I get lucky? No. Okay. take that antenna down. And any goodies. A little bit of money, and the rest I don't want or need. So I'll head back over to the scrap ship. I think that's a little bit of iron there. See a tiny bit of discoloration on the top portion of that, and I flew past my ship. I get too easily distracted. Let's see, that's all ice. Yeah, that's that asteroid right next to the base. Is there anything over here? A couple of almost looks like pockets of ice on that asteroid. It's kind of hard to tell. It's really far out there, and what I've noticed is when you have your render distance cranked up like I do, a lot of times the discoloration on asteroids doesn't actually show up at that much of a range. It's like even though it's supposed to be rendering out that far, the game, like the engine just isn't designed for it, so it struggles to actually show what it should. Still don't have access to the seat there. Let's take a little look and see what is the hacking computer doing right now. And there it is. And yeah, we're attempting to get the seat, and it failed. I think we just got that other missile turret. So, yes, we did. So now we can turn the missile turrets off. And I still can't enter that. I would just grind this down and rebuild it, but I don't want my relations to drop anymore. If I go over here to faction relations here, so it's perfectly balanced here. I'm in the negatives on the FCPR. The IMDW is got a little bit of positive relation, nothing too great though. But some of these are getting a little low. The Space Pirates, Infectorm, yeah, these are all in the negatives. But I don't want my faction relations going too low with any factions that aren't already hostile to begin with, just because most of them I'll end up trading with at some point. And bad relations hurt your trade values, as well as certain faction stations. Like if you go into red, it won't let you interact with them anymore. So, or at least from what I understand. I could be wrong about that. That might have changed. I'm not really sure. But I don't want to risk it. So here. Oh, still denied. No. So we're at 60 of 100. So I should theoretically get access to it pretty soon. And the assembler's still denied, so that's been turned off, which means the only way I'll actually get access to that is by grinding it down. I'll have to actually see if the base grinder, taking that down, does that actually affect relations or not. What faction is this ship from? It should be on military escort. No, that's not showing me the faction either. If I turn that on, does it show? No, it's just showing a military escort. I don't remember what faction this ship is from, so can't can't check and see what the relations are. What I can do is I can go ahead and go through the relations again, and then after the video is uploaded and everything, I can come back and take a look and see which one might have changed. I think it might be the Enlightened Munitions, if I'm not mistaken, is the faction it ships from, but... Oh, there we go. I actually have access to it now. So we can angle this over to the base, start heading in that direction, turn my dampeners off, and get up to probably about 80 kilometers or 80 meters a second, I mean. Keep forgetting what unit of measurement the speed's in. Which you would think after nearly 400 hours in game I wouldn't make mistakes like that, but I'm not exactly the brightest. I'll be the first to tell you if you haven't already heard, but having a degree in engineering does not mean you're smart. They can't like teach stupidity out of you. I've learned that firsthand. But I'd head back to the base. I'll set this in the grind pit, convert it to a station. I'll double check and make sure the base is converted to a station as well, so I don't grind the pit too badly. Then we'll get to see the pit in action. I won't even bother taking the hacking computer off because all those components should end up right back in the storage either way. Yeah, the first person view doesn't actually allow for any view, so just stay in third. I'm not gonna lie, I kinda like this design here. It's not too bad. Personally, I don't think I like the way that the turrets look on it. I feel like the turrets just are... they feel too large for such a small ship. There's not really much that can be done about that though, unless you convert to a subgrid and utilize the small grid turrets, but then there's really no point in doing that because all you're doing is just hurting the effective range of your defense and offense. I mean, it's good for looks, but your effectiveness really takes a hit as a like having a large grid vessel with small grid guns. It's just not ideal. Not something I would purposefully do unless it was solely for looks. But let's see if I can get this to fit in here. Go a little sideways here. Make sure I don't scratch anything up. Oh, well, never mind. Kinda already did. Let's back it out and I'll put it in the other way because I know as long as the grinders can reach just the very base of that antenna, it should be able to grind the whole antenna down. So I'll put it in there backwards instead. So I'm getting a little bit close there. So might help if I bring the camera in a little. Let's see, can I get full ship to fit. A little bit more room. Let's go full sideways and kind of angle it a little bit more. It's going to be really cramped, but yeah, I think that should work. So what I'll do is I'll open my terminal, go up here, convert this to a station, and then come here to the control panel, and I'll just turn off the batteries, not that it really matters. See this other reactor here. This one? No, this one I need to go ahead and turn it off. So it's 3.5 in that one and 2.9 over here, so it's almost 7 units of uranium. That's not too bad. Let's see. Got over here to the control room of my ship here. Check over here, so we are in fact set as a station. So that's pretty good. My door is breaking again, so there we go. And what we'll do to start the grinder, I'll just hop into Maggie and press number 2, and that should go ahead and turn the grinders on and start it moving. Which, yes, it has. And now we get to sit back and see if this works or not. In fact, let me make a save where I can go back if something goes catastrophically wrong, but it shouldn't, hopefully. Unfortunately, the sun's not in a very appealing position for this, but that'll be okay. Just try to block it. One thing that I am a little worried about is the grinders actually being able to grind that turret off. Sometimes the hitboxes are really weird on them. In my experience, sometimes turning the turret off can help with the hitbox for some reason. I'm not sure why, but it at least feels like it makes a difference if you're having issues with the hitbox. Which I think it is, because it's not moving. Yeah, so I'm thinking it's having an issue with the hitbox. Let's see here. It's a missile turret. Toggle that on and off. Let's see, does that help? Not really. Can I manually grind it a little? Maybe all the way.
Inventory full.
Okay. I'll just let those float around, that'll be fine. Go ahead and dump my inventory though. I'll click all possible as deposited, that's good. And here we go, now it's working. And I'm not sure what causes that. I can probably get a mod that'll fix the hitboxes for the turrets, but that seems to be a pretty common issue I've ran into, where sometimes those turrets just don't want to get ground off, and that's not really an issue with the design of the grind pit or anything other than just buggy hitboxes for the turrets. And yep, the grinders can reach that antenna, so can do this ship all in one go. Assuming you can get past grinding the turrets down. There should be, yeah, there's a Catling turret right there, so let's see. I'm interested to see if it can grind that one off. Although, is it already stuck on another one? What are we going on? Oh. Piece of the tail that it can't get because that one's turned off. Now, if I turn that particular grinder on, though, it will grind down the piston and it will detach the whole plate. So I can't do that. I can probably change the change that out for a conveyor. Yeah, the conveyor block here, the junction. Probably change that out for that and fix that issue, but let's see, is it moving? I think it stopped again. Not sure what it's stuck on this time. Turn the light on, that might help. I'm guessing it's probably called on this turret.
Inventory full.
Yep, it was caught on that turret. Yeah, that's something I'm going to need to get a mod for. Assuming there is one. So come back under here. Grab all the components off that I can. And then we'll just keep watching it, making sure it's grinding everything down. There's 2 more turrets to get through. Honestly, my hopes for it actually grinding these down on its own is kind of dying off. I don't have super high hopes it'll be able to get through those turrets. Which I think is the issue now. No, not that turret. Shouldn't be that block.
Inventory full.
That off. Nope, okay. It's probably this panel here. Can I get in here without getting killed by these souls?
Inventory full.
Okay. No, it wasn't that one. Oh, it's the
Inventory full.
tail end of it. That's what it was getting caught on. Okay. So yeah, this grinder here seems to be the fatal flaw with this pit. That's more so just a design flaw on my end for putting a grinder directly next to the piston. I mean, that can be fixed. I'm just lazy is all. Okay, so I got that turret just fine, but it was grinding it from the bottom. Then all these little components that I left floating around, they should stay at the top of the pit once once these grinders reach full extension, which I've limited a little bit just so it doesn't go like sticking way too far out. But once it fully extends to its limit, it should retract and turn off on its own. And what I'm expecting is most of the components that fell onto the surface of the grinder should stay in place as the grind wall retracts. Yeah. And then I can just fly through and pick those up. Now, it is possible that some components might get stuck in the teeth of the grinder, but should be fine. I'm just going to dump everything off into the general storage here, and then start grabbing some of these components, which I don't expect I'll be able to pull too many of. If I'm already out of space. Just dump everything off through there. Let's do this ammo. And I'm thinking that's most of everything. Let's go through the teeth here. Let's see if I see anything stuck. I think so. There is a container up here though. That ammo. And I think that's everything. Over here. Look for BCCG. Pump all components. Okay. So yeah, I would call that a success, other than the pit getting stuck on a couple of areas. Primarily this grinder, which can't be turned on currently, as well as the turrets getting in the way. There's a minor issue, I would say, where, you know, the conveyors, certain blocks can kind of sneak in between grinders for that, but other than that, I'd say this is a pretty decent little grind pit. Definitely better than some of the things I've seen, like
Energy low.
in some videos and stuff, just like really basic, just quickly thrown together grind pits to, you know. And I wouldn't say they're bad or anything, it's just, you know, not exactly anything to write home about, but I'm fairly proud of the design here with the wee bit of automation and making it a lot more hands-off than the traditional grinder pits. Now, one thing that I haven't seen in a while is a pirate beacon, unfortunately. So, don't think I'll be able to get into any combat anytime soon. One thing that I need to do while I'm thinking about it is go and turn the antenna and ore detector off for Doug. And let's head over to this unknown signal real quick. And unfortunately, to try to get to that unidentified signal there, I don't quite have the jump range I need with all the weight I have attached to my station. I have currently 4 jump drives, and that's still not quite enough for trips of that distance. I can go 800,000 meters in a single jump with all the weight I'm carrying. That's, I believe, is the maximum with 4 jump drives. It's probably a little bit less now that I've loaded up with all that iron and all the components off of that ship I just destroyed there, but that's not too bad though. Let's see, is there any other waypoints that I might want to go to grab some resources? I do kind of need some magnesium, I think, so let's go to this one here, magnesium and uranium. Should only be 1 jump away. Spawn button. Jump drives. Yep. Remove that. And I want to select was magnesium and uranium 1. This here. Select. And I need to be a ship in order to jump. And hit 5. We'll jump over there. Okay. Head over to a station, turn those off to save power. And looks like that asteroid right there is the one I had tagged before. I put all of these tags out here like way at the start of the save. This was I believe most of these came from the very first time I had gotten to space from the Earth-like planet. I had built a little underground base and everything on planet and stuff. If I'm not mistaken, it should still be there. I didn't destroy it, I just kind of abandoned it. I took everything of value with me aside from batteries. I think there was a couple of large storages I had left behind, and it was 5 wind turbines that I had on that kind of home base over there. If I'm not mistaken, I had 16 or 30 something batteries. And I just left all that charging and stuff just in case I ever wanted to come back. It's already got tons of power just sitting there ready to be used, so I can just throw a bunch of assemblers and all sorts of stuff on there and should just function. Let's see here. Looks like the magnesium's inside the asteroid, which is unfortunate. Let me get out, turn my light on, and take a look here and see how bad this is going to be to get to. Doesn't look too terrible. The uranium's right here on the surface, so I'll probably just go ahead and grab that. That's not going to be bad at all. It's going to be hard to see because I didn't put any lights on here, which I should have. What I can do is kind of align my front waypoint marker here with the resources and cockpit there, and that should be pretty straightforward. Kind of bumped into it a little. Let's see how good is that. I need to nose down just a tad, and then I should be good to pick up this uranium. Hop in here. Nose down just a tad, right about there. And I should be able to pick up all that uranium. All that does its thing. I can fly over and check and see how close I am getting all of it. Yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah, I'll stop it pretty soon and bring it out a little and then goes down some more and pick up the rest of that. So let's hop in, stop it, bring it back some. It's down a bit. Then really slowly until I hear it tap. There we go. Turn it back on. Yeah, that should pick up the rest of that uranium. Hopefully enough to at least get rid of that marker. Yep. There we go. I can turn that off and go back out nice and slow. Seems like there's another patch of uranium over here. So let's check how much we got. It's not too bad. It's mostly stone we've picked up. Just come back a ways here. And I'll turn on number 8. And that should spit out all of the stolen and leave only the uranium inside. Yep. Stack all the uranium in just a single container. And we can turn that back off. You don't want to leave the stone dump system on while you're mining, because it will try to fill the tunnel with all those stone boulders while you're actively mining and moving into that tunnel, which is a very, very bad thing. So if you ever use this ship, which I did put on the Steam Workshop, if you ever grab it and use it, don't leave on the stone dump while you're trying to mine. You will very rapidly not have a ship anymore. It seems like the magnesium is just directly on the other side of that wall, so we'll just line up and punch through. I went too far. It's right there. That should be good enough. I'll just go ahead and turn that on. While the the thrust override is on for those 6 thrusters at the back, you actually can still speed up and slow down utilizing your W and S controls, which is very helpful for when you want to set a waypoint, like at the very start of a tunnel you've already been in a few times. So you can just back straight out, stop it, clear your waypoints, turn everything on, and then kind of fly in a little quicker and then slow back down just before you reach the wall. Let's see here, hide empty, what do we got? We got some magnesium coming in now, so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and stop that. And I'll pull back out. Come out a good blaze here. Probably right about here. Start dumping that stone. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. Open the inventory and hide empty. Let's see, how much stone do we have left? A few 100,000. Currently, my mining vessel is equipped with 10 connectors set to collect all and dump, so you can dump out a full inventory of stone pretty quickly. And I don't know why that one's not... Oh, that one's not connected to anything. Interesting. I must have broke a pipe along the way somewhere. It's gotta be a very end one, I think. Check here. Huh? Interesting. Did I turn one of these off by mistake? Let me check. That should be dumping everything out right now. Sorry, that's on the other side. There we go. Control panel. Yeah, that's on. Let's see here. No, all of these are turned on, so I don't know. They're all set to throw out as well, yeah? Yeah? Interesting. Alright, empty. Don't see. Huh. Let's go ahead and select all. Turn off on. Select all, throw out. Oh, you know what? I know what. There we go. I should have thought about that sooner. It was just clogged up with all the stone in front of the connector. Couldn't actually find the room to dump any of that out. I just have to carefully fly through that so I don't ruin my ship on it. And let me turn the waypoints off so I can kind of see a little bit better. I'll just go ahead and turn that on and fly in a little bit. Not liking those sounds it's making. Oh. Nope, 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 nope. Turn that off. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, this is not good. No wonder it was making so many sounds. Yeah. So I'm not gonna be surprised if the ship blows up. I'll have to exit and reload to save. Anyway, let's check and see. Should be just getting mostly magnesium right now, which I am. Okay. Gotta be careful not to let the auto flight kick in, because if it does, it's going to back out way too fast and start smacking that stone into my ship, which will not be very good. And we're past the magnesium, so I can go ahead and turn this off and back it out. Let's get in here, turn that off. And be able to just slowly back out, hopefully not tear anything up. I love the green reflections off of the gold plating when the ion thrusters fire. It's really cool how the colors interact like that. Slowly back out. Try not to bump those rocks behind me too hard. So I'll try to push the two little pieces that are stuck here far enough back to where I can rotate and not hit it. Oof. That sucked. What is that way out there? Oh, you know what? No, I know what that is. I think I do. Oh, that should be... Let me lock onto it. Okay, now when I get out... Oh, is it still not marked for me? Yeah. It's only 2,000 meters out, so I'm thinking that's probably that unknown signal that I grabbed earlier. Not gonna worry too much about it, but I am gonna try to get away from these rocks without smacking it anymore. Okay. Go ahead and dump out the rest of that stone. Got plenty enough as it is. I don't need to be crowding my inventory too bad with them. The key with trying to fly while dumping stone is to go at a very moderate speed while you do it if you're going to be moving. And that should be all out, so I'll make sure to turn that back off, as well as my antenna and ore detector. No. Okay, yeah, that is not all signal. I forgot I had my markers off. Base is up there. Yeah, I'm thinking I could probably trust my autopilot, so I'll just manually enable that and let it do its thing. I'm gonna go ahead and save just in case. Should be fine. I'm gonna hit up that unknown signal. And then this waypoint here, I can leave that magnesium uranium because apparently there was another patch of uranium in there. And I don't want to delete that waypoint if there's still more rare resources like that sitting in it. There we go, we got some wells. Grab those credits. And we'll start heading to the base. And let's see. Mining ship doesn't seem to have crashed, which is a good thing. Fingers crossed it doesn't. Yeah. Okay, and that's good. From my angle, it was looking like it might hit something for a second. And I'm just gonna dampen into it and check out these, make sure I didn't damage any of my drills. Nope, everything looks good. Okay. All these look good, yep. And no rock smacked this thruster, so nope, that's fine. Alright, seems all is well. And it actually docked up this time. That's nice. I'll hop into the inventory and go to CCG. Throw these credits in there. And empty out that. In fact, we'll check and make sure everything's in the container where it needs to be. Let's do this right here, and I'll move all of my ammo into cargo container 8. Just that way it's easier to keep stock of what we'll do the tools too. That way I can keep stock of all these materials that I don't particularly need. I can actually break most of these items back down into their raw resources for the ability to produce actually important things with them. That. Don't need the drill gun ammo. Okay, that's just a health item, kind of like the health kit. God, I have a lot of tools. Holy crap. Autocannon, I can use those rounds. Most of this I can't actually utilize right now. Actually, the Gatling ammo I can, so I'll keep that. Got some more tools there. That's the car I'm already looking at. So yeah, I think that should be fine. And then we want to do assembler. I think the base assembler and the assembler 3 in green are the main ones that I need, but I want the base assembler. I'll transfer all this over. Don't think I can actually break those 5.56 by 45 mags. I don't think I can actually break those down. Production. Oh, wrong one. Base assembly. Assembling. All. Under repeat? Oh. Probably not. Probably stack these where I can. Production, disassemble all. Why does that not work? Huh. We'll just do it like this then. So, broken turrets, don't need any of those, won't need any of these. Gatling ammo, keep. Assault cannon, artillery. I think I already got. Oh, got it. Yep. There we go. Now I should be attempting to disassemble 1,000 of each of those items that I threw in there, meaning that toss stuff in, it should just automatically start getting broken down. You can see my resources are actually increasing, so I know it's probably functioning. Let's check up here. Okay, it doesn't appear anything backflowed into my other cargoes. There we go. So that's all I'm thinking about it. One thing that I need to do. These here, I need to go ahead and rename these. Say Mercy Assembler, and we'll call this 2, because there's only 2 of them on there, so I don't know what caused their numbering to be off. Let's do Mercy Assembler 2, and we'll do the same over here. We'll call this Base Assembler 2. And I want that B to be capital, not that it matters, but there we go. Now, yep, that should be empty. If I go here to CCG, that's the only thing in there. Come over here to assembler. And yeah, I can't even put these magazines in the assembler to break them down. The reason for that is Keen, the company that produced and maintained Space Engineers, they've gotten very lazy with the ammunitions over the updates. So all of the AI crafts that spawn in still use outdated magazine types. They've changed the item in which one was it? Was it the Warfare Update 1 or Warfare 2? I don't remember. But in one of those, I believe they changed the magazine system and everything, because it used to just be this one magazine, but now there's specific magazines for the different rifles and stuff. But they never fixed that on the AI spawn, so the AI still spawn in with these outdated magazines that you can't actually do anything with other than, like, you can still shoot them, you can still use them in your guns and stuff, but you can't actually disassemble these magazines into any useful materials, which kind of sucks. Ooh, another military escort. Okay, and it was the ENMU. Let's check the faction, actually. ENMU. Okay, so apparently, grinding stuff down utilizing a static grid grinder doesn't take away any of your faction stat, which is brilliant. Come over here. I'm not going to delete this, but I'm going to take it off the HUD. So, could actually go ahead and nab that. I think that's the exact same one that I had just ground down. Debating on whether I want to go and do that or not. I'd rather fight, like, go and take over some pirate ships and stuff, be it abandoned pirate ships that just have the few little working turrets here and there, or hell, even fighting a pirate raider I think would be pretty fun. I kind of want to put Mercy through the ringer, see what she can do. I've been kind of thinking about getting a different ship as my main capital ship for the moment. Because as much as I like Mercy, I feel like I could utilize a better combat ship. So rather than just grinding her down and making a new one, I kind of want to get some use out of her. Go through a battle and, you know, kind of tear her up a little. But guess we'll have to wait for that, because I'm not going to start fighting a non-hostile faction. But what I can do is I can go here to the jump, go to the jump drives, remove that waypoint, And I will come up here. We'll head over to the station. Turn my thrusters gyros on. Switch back to a ship. And initiate jump. I should, and make a save beforehand, take me right beside the station. Yep. Very, very, very close to the station, in fact. So let me go ahead. I don't think actually, yeah, it won't let me convert to a station because I'm inside the safe zone for this station, and it doesn't like to have player-built stuff inside of another faction's safe zone. In fact, I can't even build in here. So even if I wanted to, I can't even place a hack computer onto these stations to take the station. So that's pretty. One thing I might be able to do, I might be able to put a hack computer onto a grid and connect it via the connector. I don't know if that would count or not, but since this faction's not even an enemy, I don't think it would even attempt to hack. Let's see, no bounty missions. I know I have those turned on in the settings, but I've never actually seen one. So, let's see, what do we got in acquisitions? 108 platinum for 12 mil. I think I can do that. Pretty sure I have enough platinum just sitting around for that. Let's check the store. See, what do we got? Artillery shells. Rifles and stuff. I don't need any of that. Nope, don't need any thruster components. Okay. Anything worth a good price? Just platinum. I was really hoping to find some data pads in here and get some more station coordinates, but I guess that's not going to be possible. Let's head over here. And we need platinum. There's only 3. There's 2K right there. Okay. Oh, I can't pull out of that. Unfortunate. Is there enough outside of that ingot container? No. Let's see here. I think this should be the ingots. Cargo ingots too. Why is there stuff here in the... Huh. Can I pull that? I can pull that out. Okay, whatever. Platinum. I need 108. And let's see here. Split by acquisition, 12 mil, 108. We'll accept it. Go over here, finish, up the character inventory. Boom. Now I got a cool 12 mil. Which brings my total to 15. Oops. head over here and see what this unknown signal's about. Got a new unidentified signal to come in, but those are just way too far away. I feel like what I need to do is just get a combat ship with a jump drive on it. Something that's a good bit lighter that can actually get a decent amount of distance. Nope, didn't find anything good here. Because the issue with the base, the reason that I can't actually jump that far, even though I have so many jump drives on it, is just the weight. It just is way too heavy with all those ships and components and everything. I can probably lighten the load if I dismantle all of the components I have in my inventory. Of course, then going to build stuff is going to take ages because then I'll have to construct and wait for components to build as I go through to try to like print off a ship or something like that. But I might could do that. Could also probably just drop off a couple of ships, put a little waypoint on, a little GPS marker, and lighten the load like that, and then just jump back to wherever I left them at. Kind of lazy. Let's see. Credits. I need to. There we go. We'll grab all the credits I got and go and dump these off. In fact, actually, I think there's a ATM block that you can put on your base that will allow you to deposit credits, like on your stations and stuff. So here we want to do 26,000 deposit, and then that's 161. 161 deposit. There we go. No, I don't have any more credits on me. In fact, while I'm here, let me see. ATM. Yeah, automated teller machine. Economy Deluxe. And if I'm not mistaken, that will let me deposit and withdraw credits just on whatever grid I attach it to that's powered. So where's it from? It's Economy Deluxe. It's weird, I'm not seeing it in DLCs over here. Well, let me check progression. Did I actually unlock everything so far? Yeah, okay, I did unlock everything. Isn't there a contract unlock? Yeah, contracts. Block for contract manager. So yeah, I think that's this block right here. And then I wonder, do I have access to the store block? Oh, I do. Okay, so let's see, that's store, contracts, ATM, vending machine, and the dispenser. Huh. I'm not sure if I put that down, I don't think it actually will give me contracts though, because it's not assigned to any of the AI factions. I think that's mostly just for like if you're doing server stuff and you have like your own custom server with mods and stuff set up to do that, but I'm not 100%. I'll have to do some looking into that, I guess. Okay, but never mind. Mag boots, there we go. So let's get up out of this little bubble here. And one thing that I've seen done before on another YouTube channel is someone had built a kind of like a connector bridge that they placed in between the station. It was one of the on-planet stations, I believe. But they had built a little bridge that connected to the station there, and then they built another station outside of the bubble and connected the connector between the two. So that way they had kind of like a pipeline directly between their base that had like assembleries and refineries and stuff, and the trade station. So that way they could like just have all of their trade station, like all the inventory for the stuff they can buy and sell, just directly connected to their base, which was pretty neat. I think rather than doing that, if I was to do something similar, I'd probably just stick a connector on here that kind of comes off a little bit and then just fly my whole station to dock up and not even worry about having it permanently affixed. But it doesn't seem to be a whole lot that goes on real close to at least this planet, the Earth-like. So I think probably what I'll do, just in an attempt to get some interesting stuff going on, go here to the jump drives. I'll remove the waypoint there, and I'll just do a full distance blind jump just away from the planet off into space and just see what comes out of it. Blind jump, 639 kilometers, or 639,000 meters. The weight, yeah, the weight's what's killing me. It's really putting a hamper on how far I can jump. Oh, what do you know, right there. Space Pirate Raider. Lovely. we'll save right here. Oops. Nope, that's not the way I need to go. Yep, over here. I'm going to see here. Can't withdraw 10 superconductors. That doesn't make sense. I have everything to build. Yeah. So I'll get rid of that. Okay. Okay, let me double check. Yes, I have all the components to build it. Okay. Should be good. Up here onto the bridge. Disconnect. Interesting. Okay. So I can do much better zoom from here. Okay. So the Raider is a relatively large ship. I fought one before, and it just kind of didn't really go anywhere, and it ended up just floating off into space endlessly. So I didn't really get anything out of it, and I'm not expecting to get anything out of it this time around either. But we can try. I think for this one here, I'm going to turn my dampeners on at about 7 kilometers out, and I'll launch the missile that I have, which I did make sure to fully print, because I didn't have the components to finish it off the last time. Or no, actually, it got shot by a pirate grid. That's what had happened to it, the reason it wasn't fully finished, but I did repair it. I haven't tried firing it, so I don't know if it actually functions or not. So when we get there, we'll find out. But I think the other one over there is the same exact ship. We'll fight this one here off, and if Mercy survives, then we'll fight the other one. That might be for the next video, though. We'll see. And 7 kilometers, so I'll turn my dampeners on. So camera view here. Go ahead and turn the control block to launch on. And once we come to a halt, I'll hit number 9 and turn on the firing sequence for my missile, and then we'll kind of see what happens. Okay. Hit number 9. Let's see, did it even launch? Nope. That's unfortunate. Okay. Let me go out there and see what's wrong with that missile. Alright. Kind of squeeze through here, come on. There we go. Access it through here. Oh, the battery is incomplete. Flight and missile guidance is also incomplete. Oh, okay. Well, it makes sense. It's unfortunate, though. I thought I grabbed all the parts to finish that off. Don't think I can get it to line back up the, yeah. That's really unfortunate. I'd rather not have this missile just floating around in here.
Inventory full.
Okay. So, you know what? I'm thinking I'm gonna exit without saving, and I'm gonna load back in. Because that's a mess I don't want to mess with. Yeah, I could sit there and try to push the missile back out through the opening and just kind of go around it and leave it floating in space, or I could try to take the time to grind it down and dump all the resources back into my inventory and do all that, but honestly, it's too much work. I don't care enough. This before or after I... Okay, that's before I launched. Okay. So this time around, we're not going to launch the missile. And I'm going to check my AI combat block. AI flight move combat. Collision, precision, and... offensive combat. And let's see here. Circle orbit, circle distance, 1,200. We're going to change that to be 1,050. Ooh, not 150. 1,000. No, we're going to do 1,150. A little bit closer. Upside of the ship, facing towards it, sounds good, because most of my guns have pretty good coverage on the top of the ship. Switch target 30 seconds. It's not going to need that. That'll be fine. Okay. So we'll turn our dampers back off. Start easing in range here. Eye on it. Should come to life once I get within, I think, 2,050 or 2.5 kilometers. I think is about the detection range of the AI ships. Since I have that save not too far out, I could try to fight this manually. See how that goes. I think spacebar and Q or E is a pretty decent like easy way to maneuver and still be able to like dodge some of the projectiles and everything. So might give that a go. From what I've heard, the main thing you want to concern yourself with when you're trying to do manual fighting is to not over thrust in the forward direction, because the game's engine is capped out at 100 meter per second speed limit, and that is the overall speed, like with all of your thrust vectors, right? So if you over thrust forward, you might be doing a roll and holding your up thrust, but you're not actually doing a spiral, you're just spinning while going forward. So kind of easing into range here. Now I'm going to start to spin to win. Flying over here. What I want to do is go here to turrets, and I want to change that to be default. I guess that way we get some more important blocks destroyed here, so that way we'll actually stop maneuvering. Because previously all I had it set to was just to attack the weapons, but that's not going to stop the ship from flying away from you like it's doing right now. thinking I probably already disabled all of its weaponry. It is not wanting to fight back. Okay, we got a good hit right there. Seen one hit and bounced. Try to get a little bit more ground on it. Oh, those are all misses again. Oh, hit something important right there. Again. Got another good hit. Thinking what I'm gonna do if I can get this ship here to die, and I can get close enough, I'll dampen to it, lock on, and stop it from moving, and then just place a waypoint to jump my base over to it, and then scavenge the quartz. I think my Top Gun just is trying, but it's just hitting myself instead of looks like it's slowing down a lot. Yeah, it's firing rockets back. some good hits on it, but God, does it just keep on going. It was about what I had last time I fought one. Just kept wanting to go in circles and didn't want to die. Let's see if I can angle to where both of my guns can fire. Taking some hits now. Antennas. Is there anything important? Don't look like it. It's looking like I might be getting pretty low on power soon. Now while I say that, now evened out a little. Big hit. It might be dead now. Open. Ooh, I'm gonna smack into it. reckon it's dead. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and disable my guns. Let's see here. There's not much left of it, it looked like. So I'm gonna try to control Z. Probably gotta get close to down there. Slow down, slow down. See if I can catch it. I'm way off. Okay. Thinking probably the back end would have been better to, better to try to grab. It's actually moving in. Just come to a complete stop and then chase after it. See if maybe that'll work a little bit better, because I've been overshooting it way too much. Overall, Mercy ain't looking too bad for wear. Took what, like 4 or 5 rockets? Maybe some small gunfire? It's not too bad. Definitely not as bad as I would expect her to look. much. Damn it. Come on. There we go. Okay. Fine. I think that was way too much work to try to grab this little bit of scrap. As fun as the combat is, it feels like there's just really not much point. Let's see what we grabbed. Nothing in the lockers. Switch right there. Do have a cargo container with nothing in it. Okay. Nope. It's definitely looking like this was a wash. Worry of everything. Maggie cockpit. Let's just grab some of this. And we got a hold of a beacon and an antenna. Sniped something pretty quick. Oh, I lost a cargo on her. Damn. Let's see, what do we drop here? A shit ton of stuff. Okay. We lost our connector as well. It's really not good. I mean, we can fix it, but... Cargo... Need interior plates and stuff. Can't access your inventory for that. Grab that. Yeah, we're just missing a few interior plates. Which we have right here. There we go. Okay. I want to replace a connector. All components were successfully through. So why can I not place? Oh, needs to plate. I don't know why it said all components were successfully withdrawn if it wasn't. So I need a couple motors now. Alright, let's see. Anything on here that has motors? I think that cargo container does. Let's see. We got the parts. Yes, we do. panel, and we'll call this Maggie 2 connector. Capitalize that in. And now we'll go here to flight move. Waypoint 3, set up actions. Lock. Okay. And then the event controller. That's the dock. Stereo EC. Dock lock. And Maggie 2 connector. Add that. That should be good there. Okay. I think we've got her set back up now. Hopefully. Oh. That's just wonderful, huh? What do we got here? It's a couple steel plates. Okay. G. Grinder. Let's grab everything. Withdrawal motors. That's fine. There's a couple of conveyors over there. It's broken. Can't remember. Do flight suits have motors? Let's find out. Yes, yes I did. Okay, wonderful. Now that connects back up. Grinders. Control click, save, show lock terminal off. Okay. I need to be more careful with my ships. Careful when I grind off here. I don't want it to come disconnected from the landing pad. Well, here's a little chunk. Yeah, honestly, there's not much else worth grabbing other than those conveyors and stuff right here. That's that, I guess I'll just leave floating around. go. And we're gonna pop a save before I try to dock. And hopefully I've gotten her docking procedures set. I think I changed everything I needed to. And it seems we did. Over here. Okay. Not that. There's another part of that ship, the back half. I don't think my chances of finding that are very good at all. Yeah, the radar is only showing asteroid there, so probably never gonna find the other half of that ship. Yeah, it's just an asteroid. Okay. There's another one of the exact same ship floating over there. That'll be alright. Okay. Let's take a look. Oof. Yeah, she's pretty banged up. Still nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. All of the functional blocks for my missile launcher is fine. I think I have enough radio components storage out to fix that. Wonder if I can pull parts out of that. No. That's a long trip to make. I'll probably fix that back when I get a base, because I got the actual named beacon up here at the front. It'd probably be better to try to clear all this at the world wall on the base. No, one thing I'm noticing is the armor protecting these turrets does a decent enough job, but it's definitely getting in the way, at least for my top cannon here. During that fight, it looked like a few times my turrets had shot my own ship, but it doesn't appear to have done any damage. At least not from what I can tell, but I mean, that's not too bad though. let's get inside here real quick and over here we'll check our inventories for uh, assault cannon shells and artillery shells. So yeah, we still got a good amount of artillery. The assault cannon is going to be my next best primary defensive weapon. And it looks like the Gatling turrets are just about out of ammo. Like, they are very low. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably not good. I don't think I want to go ahead and take on the other pirate raider yet. So you've got a severe underbite now. Oh lord. So are all my front thrusters? Yeah, looks like they're all fine. I don't think... No, I didn't lose a single thruster in that. So that's not bad. I think it was mainly just focused on the, that custom turret. Is what it looks like. That seems to be the only place any of those missiles actually dealt much, if any, damage at all. Well, okay, there is a little bit on the side there, I'm just now noticing. Yeah, that's not bad though. could have sworn I had welded that missile up though, like to completion, but I guess I didn't. Which that honestly really sucks. I was really hoping to get to use that custom missile out. There's a couple things that I want to check on real quick. So flight move dock, yeah, I want to turn precision mode on here. And recorder dock over here, set up action. Collision avoidance off. Move that. Keep the collision avoidance turning off. And then over here, on select actions, keep the lock, flight move toggle off, precision. To remove that. Collision avoidance, yeah, we still want to turn on and off collision avoidance, but precision mode I want to keep on. Actually, I'm thinking I'm not even going to bother trying to repair her. 'Cause kind of the whole point is to use her up and turn off a different ship. Save here. We're gonna try to auto dock. See how that goes. I have no idea what she's doing right now, but just wait and see. me check. I'm thinking I might have disabled the wrong thing, maybe? Air flight mode dock. No. Collision avoidance is off and precision mode's on. So. Well, she certainly didn't dock up. Let's move here to the second page. Turn my projector and my weather on. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why. Maybe it's just there's a block in the way, the reason it can't build that up. Probably have to manually fix that missile. But anyway, that'll do. You know, I kind of want to go for the unknown signal, but I think actually I'm just going to go ahead and stop recording here. So we'll exit with a save, and I'll go ahead and end the recording, and maybe next time we'll see if we can find that other, the other pirate raider and try to get it, but there just really isn't much of a reason to. I don't get that many resources from it. Most of the ship doesn't survive. They seem to just want to flee instead of fighting, so. But we'll see. Maybe next time we'll go for the other.